The Toyota Tacoma. This thing is the best-selling midsize pickup by a long shot. The Ford Ranger, the Chevy Colorado, the Nissan Frontier, the Jeep Gladiator, none of them even come close to the Tacoma's annual sales. In 2021, the Tacoma had its best year ever, selling over 250,000 units. Not only does this thing run circles around the competition, it even outsells its larger sibling, the Tundra, by a significant amount. But a fourth generation Tacoma is on the way, and rumor has it will debut sometime this year and go on sale in 2023. Will it continue to carry the sales crown without compromising on the things that make it extremely successful today? Should you buy a Tacoma now or hang on for the updates? Let's find out. Oh look, there's another Tacoma TRD Pro. Tacoma Wave. Oh, I guess the Tacoma Wave isn't a thing with Tacoma owners. Either way, my name is Omar and this is the 2022 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. You know what's crazy? I was looking up the sales figures for the Tacoma and I saw that the Tacoma also outsold the Corolla in 2020 by 1,628 units. That's completely mind-blowing to me. But yeah, the Tacoma is next in line for a total revamp. The Tundra, which is a less successful model for Toyota, got one first. Why? Well, simply because the Tundra competes in the much more crucial heavy-duty pickup segment. And every time an automaker is this close to bringing out the next generation of a vehicle, car shoppers wonder whether or not if they should wait for all the updates or if they should buy the current one. We'll get into that later, but first let me show you what's new for the Tacoma for 2022. We'll take a look at the exterior, the interior, and we'll take it for a drive. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. All right, let's do this. Guys, it is super windy and super cold out today, but let's kick this off by talking about the TRD Pro part of it. The TRD Pro is the most extreme version of the Tacoma. It's meant to be an off-roading pickup and it's got the gear to back it up. One of the biggest highlights for 2022 is that the Tacoma TRD Pro gets an increased suspension lift with a 1.5-inch lift up front and a 0.5-inch lift in the back. And that will give you even more off-road capability to clear any obstacles in your way with the 36.4 degree approach angle, and then you get a 24.7 degree departure angle with a 26.6 degree breakover angle. Not like the previous Tacoma TRD Pro, you still have the Fox 2.5-inch internal bypass shocks, which are now TRD engineer tuned, whatever that means. TRD engineers also upgraded the upper control arms that are now machine forged for some added muscle. And you still have some trail protection thanks to the TRD Pro aluminum front skid plate right here with the red TRD lettering. For the new model year, you also get a new design to the 16-inch black alloy wheels with Goodyear Kevlar all-terrain tires that have a more aggressive design to them. And of course, you get the TRD tuned catback exhaust that sounds pretty solid. Now let's get into the looks of the Tacoma TRD Pro, starting off with this new electric lime metallic color. It's bright, it's loud, and I absolutely love it. This thing has been turning heads the whole week that I've been driving it. Now the TRD Pro is based on the Tacoma TRD Off-Road 4x4 double cab short bed, and looks-wise the TRD Pro looks way more aggressive than any of the other Tacomas. It shouldn't be hard to tell a TRD Pro apart from the other trims, but the easiest way to tell is to just look at the Heritage front grille with the giant Toyota stamp. I really like this a lot. Right above that on the hood you have a blacked out hood scoop, and for 2022 you get some new graphics for it. This one here looks to be an off-road map of some sort. And carrying over my favorite TRD Pro touch is the little TRD lettering in the headlamps on the passenger side and a Pro lettering on the driver's side. Love that touch right there. But yeah, besides the additional colors that are offered, you have a few other changes for 2022. The TRD Pro badge on the top part of the front door is gone, and you now have a Tacoma badge on the lower part. And probably the most obvious update for 2022 is the TRD Pro stamping on the rear quarter panel. This used to be a graphic, but now it's just a stamp in the body and looks much better. By the way, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but the bottom part of the paint on the Tacomas are textured so it avoids any chipping when you're off-roading. That's pretty cool. Hop inside and it's the same old, same old. Nothing has changed here at all. Everything is just where it used to be. It's still only available with a black interior with these leather trimmed TRD Pro branded seats. I was hoping that Toyota would offer the red leather seats that you have in the Tundra TRD Pro, but nope. But you still got this cool TRD Pro shifter. The overall quality is okay. There is a lot of hard plastic throughout this cabin, but I guess that's expected since you're going to get this dirty and you want it to be easier to clean. Rear legroom in the Tacoma TRD Pro and other Tacomas still comes in at 32.6 inches. Sorry for the mess that I have back here. I am about 6 foot tall. That is my seating position. As you can see, it's not that spacious back here. Now, when it comes to the tech, nothing has been upgraded for 2022. You still have an 8-inch touchscreen display, which still has Toyota's older infotainment system, not the new one. But the good thing is that you still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, as well as navigation on the TRD Pro. And if you go for the most extreme Tacoma, you also get a multi-terrain monitor camera system, and while it's nice, the quality of it isn't really that great. And you still have this analog gauge cluster with a tiny 4.2-inch color display in the middle that has some useful information, but no full digital gauge cluster display here at all. That said, let me quickly point out a few of my favorite features on the Tacoma TRD Pro, along maybe with some weird things that I've found while spending time with it. You still have a power sliding rear window that you can stick your head out of, and you can operate it by using this button that is wearing a hat. You also have a pretty bright LED bed light that you can turn on and off with this button that has a graphic of a flatbed truck. That's weird. You've got a set of off-roading controls up here. One is for the multi-terrain select system, and you can circle through mud and sand, loose rock, mogul, rock and dirt, and rock. The other button is for crawl control, which is like cruise control, but for when you're off-roading. You also have a mechanical locking rear differential button right here as well. The TRD floor mats here have a map printed on them, along with some Tacoma TRD tire treads. That's dope. You still have a manual brake, which I'm sure some of you will appreciate. You've got some extra lockable storage space under the rear seats. You have one on the driver's side, and you also have one on the passenger side. Speaking of lockable storage, my test model here comes with an actual safe that is lockable with a 4-digit code. It sits under the armrest, it sounds pretty strong, and it will cost you an extra $359. And if you want some more space in your cargo bed and you're not impressed with the space that it comes with, you can pay an extra $300 for this bed extender. Oh, and finally, I never realized this, but you know how some Toyotas will continue to beep non-stop when you have the door open? Well, you can stop that beeping by pushing this button right here. All right. That's how Doug Demare says it. Anyway, pricing for the 2022 Tacoma starts at $26,700 for the base SR. You can step into the off-road territory with the TRD Off-Road for $34,890, but if you want to go all out, you'll have to go for the TRD Pro at $46,135. And at that price tag, everything you see here is standard as it should be. On the outside, you get LED headlamps with LED sequential turn signals. You also get a set of Rigid Industries fog lights down here, and in the back, you have LED taillights that just look normal. All the TRD off-road equipment that I showed you earlier is also standard. Inside, you get these really comfortable TRD Pro leather seats, which of course I wish were red, but no, you can only get black. The driver's side seat is 10-way power adjustable, but the passenger side is still manual. But doesn't matter, both are still heated as standard on the TRD Pro. You get dual zone climate control, so each passenger can enjoy their own temperature, but I will never let them set their own temperature. I will always sync it. A power sunroof is also standard, along with the power sliding rear window. Tech-wise, again, you get the 8-inch touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and navigation, which is standard, along with this boring tiny digital gauge cluster display. Sound system wise, you're working with a 6-speaker JBL sound system with a subwoofer, and it sounds okay. A wireless charger is also standard on the TRD Pro, so that's pretty dope. As far as safety goes, you get everything you can imagine as standard as a part of the Toyota Safety Sense system, including adaptive cruise control, lane departure alert, blind spot monitoring, parking assist, pre-collision with pedestrian detection, automatic high beams, and more. And again, the TRD Pro gets the multi-terrain camera system as well as a rear view camera and a 360-degree camera. It is crazy windy out here. Now, before I give you my opinion on how the Tacoma TRD Pro drives, let me point out a few random important things that I'll have to show all of you. You have 5 cup holders, 2 right there for the front passengers and 1 also in the middle. And then rear passengers have a really cool placement for their cup holders. Right here, they get 2 right there. Here are what the keys look like to the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Nothing that exciting, no TRD logo. To remote start it, you gotta hit lock 2 times and then hold on the 3rd, and it will flash and start up. TRD exhaust, oh yeah. Door open and close sound from the outside and from the inside. Not bad actually. Charging game-wise, you get a wireless charging pad as standard on the TRD Pro, along with a USB-A port right there, and a cigarette lighter charger right there. Rear passengers get nothing, no charging game at all. Let's listen to the indicator and horn sound test here on the 2022 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Indicator first. Same old Toyota indicator. Now for the horn sound. Oh yeah, nice. So how is the Tacoma TRD Pro to drive? Now, I don't do too much off-roading, but I hear this thing is extremely capable in that world, but on the road, it's doing just great. Now, usually off-road focused pickups and SUVs tend to act up on pavement due to the tires and the off-road focused hardware, but this is doing just fine. Power for the Tacoma TRD Pro still comes from the 3.5-liter V6 making 278 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. You can get other Tacoma models with a 2.7-liter four-cylinder engine making 159 horsepower. And you have a 6-speed automatic transmission, but all the TRD Tacomas, Pro or not, can be had with a 6-speed manual transmission, but not the one that I'm testing here, unfortunately. But yeah, the ride quality is pretty solid and quite comfortable. It's really easy to maneuver in and out of traffic on the highway, and it behaves pretty well around town. The cabin is as quiet as something like this should be. Of course, under hard acceleration, you will hear some of that V6 engine noise coming into the cabin, but once you get up to cruising speeds, it's not that bad. See, my infatuation with pickup trucks has nothing to do with their off-road capabilities or how much they can tow. To me, it's about the extra utility, the badass road presence, and once in a while, I may haul something. Speaking of towing and hauling, the Tacomas with a V6 and 4x4 have a max towing capacity of 6,400 pounds and a max payload of 1,115 pounds. But yeah, if you really want to learn about the off-roading side of things, I highly recommend checking out my friend Ryan Douthit's channel, Driving Sports TV. He does an outstanding job of explaining all the off-roading capabilities of almost every SUV and pickup out there. But don't go there just yet. Stick with me for the on-road review first. 0 to 60 for the Tacoma TRD Pro comes in at 7.7 seconds, which isn't that bad. The acceleration is pretty solid. You should have no problem taking over other vehicles on the highway. Fuel economy wise, you're looking at 18 miles per gallon city, 22 miles per gallon highway. I'm averaging, after a few days of driving, a total of 13.8 miles a gallon, which is not bad, but not great either. Now let's talk about the 4th generation Tacoma and whether or not if you should wait for it or buy the current 3rd gen. And there are 2 factors that I think will be most important for true pickup truck owners. The first will be the engine. Toyota will most likely get rid of the current engine lineup, including the 3.5-liter V6. In its place, we'll most likely see a turbocharged 4-cylinder. We may even see a hybrid Tacoma. I don't expect the 6-speed manual to survive either. Also, Toyota says that it plans to have an electrified version of every model in its lineup by 2025, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see an electric Tacoma very soon. The second major factor will be the switch from the current leaf springs to coil springs, just like on the new Tundra. The coil springs should provide the Tacoma with better on-road comfort and drivability, which is good for someone like me. The Chevy Colorado and the Ford Ranger currently use leaf springs. Now, of course, we'll see a whole new exterior design that will be inspired by the new Tundra and the new Sequoia, just in a Tacoma size. It will most likely move to a body-on-frame setup. And then, of course, we'll have a brand new interior that looks much better and nicer than the current model. I definitely welcome that, along with the new infotainment that you saw on the new Tundra. So yeah, in my opinion, I think with the next generation Tacoma, it will continue to shine as the bestseller in this segment and as the most reliable option in this segment. I would say the only reason to go out and buy one right now is if you're a fan of the naturally aspirated V6 and the 6-speed manual transmission that's offered on the current model. If those 2 things are important to you, go out and buy one right now. Other than that, wait it out. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace. And if you're gonna get one right now, get it in this electric lime metallic color. This thing has been turning heads all week. Even though it hasn't changed much in terms of the design, people have been looking at it nonstop.